I have always been captivated by stories of people who are able to build their wealth from nothing, and they have been able to make a significant change in their life, and they are legends, and they have become a source for us to learn and understand that it's not a must to come from a wealthy background, but a wealthy generation can actually come from you. These stories fire me up and keep me motivated to know that if you continue grinding and grinding in the right way, then you can make it in life and become the source of generation wealth in your family and also for yourself. If you are in need of proof or motivation, then stay tuned and listen to this video to the end, because I'm going to discuss inspiring stories from five people who have built their wealth from nothing, or rather they even came from poor families and they have been able to build wealth and become significant icons in the society today. I believe and trust that these stories will help you and motivate you to achieving greater things in your life, because whatever the mind can conceive, then it means it can achieve. The first person that we all know is Oprah Winfrey, and this lady grew up in poverty in a very small town in Mississippi, but today we know her as an icon in the television entertainment history. She has been able to to pay herself well, and she has been able to make a name for herself, and she has been able to create wealth by herself, regardless of the background that she came from, regardless of the challenges that she has been going through or she has gone through. Right now, money is not an issue, and she's an icon and she's very successful. So if you're there and you're thinking, oh, I came from a poor background, or maybe I'm not motivated enough to work hard for myself, then this is a sign for you to stop blaming your background and become a better person and start somewhere where you are, have a vision and grow it, and you will be surprised in the next 30 years you will be having enough money for yourself and for the next generation. The second person is Aliko Dangote from Nigeria. Aliko Dangote is the richest man in Africa, and his net worth is estimated at over $20 billion. According to research or online, what I've been able to gather is that he started his business from a loan of $500 from his uncle, which he started trading in commodities and started making money, and eventually expanded the business into cement. And that is where now he got the breakthrough of the Dangote group, which has become an empire and has employed a lot of people in Nigeria and also in other parts of Africa. And this Dangote's story is a true, or it's a proof testament of working hard, having that zeal, keep grinding, and try to sell something. Because when people can buy something from you, whether it's a service or a product, that's the only way you'll be able to make more income, because you need to have a service or a product that people can pay for. Another person that came from a poor background and made it is Ralph Lauren, and we all know this brand. So Ralph Lauren started from a humble beginning to a billionaire status, and he was a Jewish immigrant actually. He worked as a poor kid trying to make his way through tough city environment. He started his career as a designer for Brooks Brothers and eventually launched his own fashion line that we know of today. So what is common in these people is they started somewhere. They started something, and what you start may not be the breakthrough, but in the process of that starting that something, you'll get yourself into something else that could be eventually your breakthrough. And sometimes you could even start many businesses. Like personally, have started over 15 businesses, and some of them I still do them today, and others I grew out of them. But the goal is to have a product or a service that people are willing to pay for. And once you get your own clientele, you start getting cash flow. Always think about expanding that business or that company so that money can now start working for you. You employ other people who can, because the more the hands working on a product or a service, the more you are able to make, as compared to having a business that is self-centered, that it's only you who can be able to provide that quality to your clients, and eventually it becomes weak staff, and you can't take much clients, so that you can be able to make more money. But when you have people working for you, then you can be able to take in more clients, pay the people working for you, and still make more money for yourself. The fourth person is Koum. Koum is the co-founder of WhatsApp, and he grew in a small village in Ukraine before moving to the US. He was struggling financially, and when he learned how to code by reading books and using the internet, he eventually worked at Yahoo. And after working there for 9 years, he created WhatsApp. And this app became a banger. Like, everyone uses WhatsApp. There is absolutely no one who has a smartphone that does not use WhatsApp. And WhatsApp has helped us in communication. And this is an area that a lot of people prefer having. Like, when you improve the communication of people are able to link with friends and family and co-workers through a simple app like WhatsApp. That's what made WhatsApp grow. Over time, Facebook eyed WhatsApp because of its popularity, how it was growing, and offered to pay for $19 billion for the app. And that's how Koum became a billionaire in dollars. And this is what we learn from these stories is persistence, working hard, and being keen about the possibilities in the communication industry, or rather in the internet industry, and make an app that can make people's life easier and solve a specific problem. The fifth person is John Paul. John Paul is the co-founder of the Paul Michel hair products and Patron Tequila. And his story is one of the most inspiring rags to riches narrative, because he was raised in a poor Italian American family in Los Angeles, and he once became homeless and had to sell his possessions to survive. After years of struggling, he co-founded Paul Michel System and later Patron Tequila, both of which turned into highly successful multi-billion-dollar businesses. And this is a story of perseverance. So do not get discouraged by where you are, because all these 5 people, they came from a poor background, and they were able to leverage their skills, their determination and perseverance and thinking, so that they can be able to create products and services that people are willing to pay for. Hair products are things that people are willing to pay for, and that is something that people will always use. And when you start having a business idea or a service that people can actually pay for, then that is the beginning of your breakthrough. Determination and perseverance are directly connected to financial success. Pull up your socks, learn from these people, and just understand it is the small steps you take today that will determine your success tomorrow. Don't just sit there and say, oh, this company is so huge, they must have invested a huge number of money so that the company can grow like that. But it's not true. They started somewhere. They started by selling that product or service to one client. Then after one client, they got motivated and went ahead and pitched to another client, like that. And when now the clients become many, obviously you make good amount of money. Now you can rebrand, you can make your brand known, you can advertise, now you can pay for ads, you can get featured on television, you can start getting featured on magazines, and the story grows. So start where you are and watch yourself grow.